93 Boxing, back with another video. Danny Jacobs seems like he has signed a deal with Matchroom Promotions, with Eddie Hearn, and with HBO. A long-term deal. Multiple fight deals, I believe. Al Heyman's still his advisor. And I think it's a good move, actually, because the good thing about a promoter is they will promote you. Eddie Hearn is a really good promoter, I think. You know, obviously we've seen what he's done in the UK. He's taken over UK. He's bigger than Frank Warren. He's able to promote fighters that are, you know, obviously he's got Anthony Joshua, you know, and Anthony Joshua is, obviously he's a good fighter. He's a very good fighter. But he's able to promote fighters that haven't really done a lot, like as if they've done a lot. Like Kell Brook before he fought Errol Spence, before he fought Triple G. You know, Kell Brook's stock actually risen right after Sean Porter, and I would say thanks to Eddie Hearn. You know, more importantly, thanks to Eddie Hearn, right? He's a good promoter. He talks really well. Part of promoting a fight or a fighter is talking really good, and Eddie Hearn's probably one of the best talkers out of all the promoters. Now, obviously with Eddie Hearn, he's done well in the UK. He wants to take over the States, and I think Danny Jacobs and Eddie Hearn with Matchroom Promotions will do terrific. Danny Jacobs, the only problem is he's not being promoted. It's not that he's not good. I would say Canelo's an A-level fighter, Triple G's an A-level fighter, Danny Jacobs an A-level fighter. But the thing is, when you think of top fighters, most people think of Canelo and Triple G in the middleweight. Even though Danny Jacobs belongs there, but not with name and not in terms of recognition and all those type of things. Danny Jacobs just needs to be promoted. And I think with Eddie Hearn and his skills and his experience to do well, I think he can do it really well. I mean, the only big promoters there are is Bob Arum, who's old. His fighters are running out dry. I mean, Manny Pacquiao's going to retire soon. Tim Bradley's retired. Who else has he got? Like Marquez, he's retired, right? So, and you know, you got a golden boy, De La Hoya. Canelo's the only fighter that he has, right? And, you know, he got Cotto maybe. He got a few other guys. But that's pretty much his only fighter. Eddie Hearn might take over US boxing. And, you know, Danny Jacobs, although he's not been promoted, if Eddie Hearn promotes him right, and then, you know, obviously he has to get some other US fighters, he can really, really, really take over US boxing. Really take over. I personally think Danny Jacobs is a likable character, a relatable character, because he suffered cancer. And, you know, nowadays cancer is becoming, you know, an epidemic almost, because, you know, nowadays more and more people are getting cancer than before. Obviously, I have my reasons for it. I think it's because of the toxic environments that we live in. You know, there's more pollution, there's more, you know, plastic containers and stuff. There's research about that. Apparently, they cause cancer. They help cause cancer, things like that. You know, so our environment is more toxic. But, you know, that's a different debate. That's a different topic altogether. Most of you probably have heard of someone, your friend, your family, maybe your relatives, you know, your close ones maybe, that have suffered from cancer or passed away from cancer, God forbid. But because of that, you'll be able to relate with Danny Jacobs because he's a cancer survivor, right? And, you know, cancer, obviously, we're all scared of cancer. No one wants to catch this, right? No one wants this on us or on anyone else, for that matter. So when Danny Jacobs is a cancer survivor, it's kind of like, it makes it likable. And Eddie Hearn can promote the fuck out of it using that. Plus, you know, he had a really good performance against Triple G. They can use that. I mean, you know, I hope I'm explaining my things right, but, you know, I can see this partnership going really, really, really well. And, you know, if it's promoted in the UK as well, because keep in mind, he's a UK promoter right here. If it's promoted properly in the UK, then he'll be big in the UK as well. He'll be huge in the UK. And, you know, he might just come over here and fight in the UK. Might fight Billy Joe Saunders. Because, you know, Billy Joe Saunders is from the UK. Danny Jacobs is from the UK. You know, we could talk about Danny Jacobs might get robbed in the UK because he's from the States. But Eddie Hearn's from the UK, and I don't think he'll let his fighters go through that type of things. And if Danny Jacobs can get a title from Billy Joe Saunders, you already know what's going on. Danny Jacobs will get the recognition he finally deserves. He'll be a world champion. Him against Canelo or Triple G, it'd be a big fight. I see within a year of Eddie Hearn working with Danny Jacobs can turn to a name for real, like a big name maybe. And Canelo and Triple G might have a rematch, but the winner versus Canelo Triple G, Danny Jacobs can do it, especially if he fights Billy Joe Saunders and then goes on there. I think that'd be a huge fight. That would definitely be a huge fight. That'd be epic. But yeah, man. And, a lot of us are kind of sick of Billy Joe Saunders as well. I think he's a good fighter, but I don't think he can hang in there with Danny Jacobs. But although there's also rumors of Billy Joe Saunders not wanting to fight Danny Jacobs, and I think that's probably believable. I believe that. But let me know what you think. Do you think it's a good partnership? Do you think it's good that Danny Jacobs and Eddie Hearn has signed contracts with HBO? I think it's good. I really think it's good. Let me know what you think. 93 Boxing, I'm out.